It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David and News Editor Philip Catafamo as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics in Yavapai County that affect all our lives. And now here's today's Countywide.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catafamo. I'd like to thank you for joining me. On today's show, we're talking about a new project to support local businesses and reward frontline workers. And my guest in studio today is the brains behind the operation, Prescott resident Glenn Haselfeld. Glenn, welcome on to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Well, we're happy to have you. As we know, COVID-19 is still very prominent everywhere, and it's hurting local businesses. It's putting a lot of stress on our essential workers and our frontline workers, firemen, hospital workers, nurses who work in the hospital. But programs like this are quite important to try to make it a little easier for them to feel like this is worth it. And I love projects like this that support local businesses and fire departments. As I told you, Glenn, I speak constantly to a lot of our first responders here in Cottonwood. But let's start out with you, Glenn. How did you get to Prescott? Where did you start out at? And how did you make it up here to Yavapai County?
Well, actually, my family has a long history in Arizona, so I was familiar with it. My grandfather lived in Kirkland for many, many years. So after I graduated from the University of Washington, I moved down into Phoenix and worked out in Goodyear in an engineering firm for about 30 years or so before I retired up to Prescott in 2013. So that's what got me up here, and I'm loving it. Love the environment, love the people, and just love the community.
Yeah, very much a great community over in Prescott. My sister lives in Prescott, so I've been down there a couple times, and a lot of fun to go visit, and there's some great people living there as well, including yourself. So this idea, Glenn, how did it come about, and why did you feel it was important?
Well, I think I'm like a lot of other people where I'm very concerned about the viability of small businesses in the current economic crisis. So, you know, I know there are federal support programs that are there, right, like, you know, the CARES, PPP, and so on. But, you know, those programs tend to be a little bit inefficient and inequitable. So I was kind of looking for something more privately funded that you could do to get things going. And actually, I really started out thinking that maybe Wall Street was coming up with some idea that would be able to, you know, be able to support small businesses in the short term.
They just wanted to buy stock in GameStop right now.
Well, that's exactly it. You know, they're just risk adverse, and they don't like to do that, even though these are otherwise viable small businesses. So I actually called up my financial planner down in Scottsdale, Mark Parfit, and he actually gave me this idea about using gift certificates on here. You know, he suggested that what you could do was give short-term cash flow to a business by buying a gift certificate, and then award it to first responders, other essential workers, and it's kind of a win-win, right? Because you know, you get to help out the small businesses and reward people who are working hard and putting themselves at an elevated risk of the COVID virus at the same time.
Right. Right now you can go visit Prescott.org, and if you scroll down on the Prescott Chamber of Commerce website, you can find a donate link. It is up there on our screen right now. It has, for those of you who are listening on radio, it's a photo of a fireman. I have terrible eyesight. Firemen and a couple other first responders, and it'll say right there, support your local business and reward frontline workers. Definitely go check that out, Prescott.org. Trying to hit a goal of $1,100 right now. You guys are at, I believe last I saw, a little over 600. So the donations are going. They need to come a little bit more here. So again, Prescott.org. If you need more information, you can contact 928-445-2000. That is the Prescott Chamber of Commerce phone number. But so rewarding frontline workers, rewarding small businesses with these rewards. What about the pilot project? You mentioned a pilot project. What more specifically?
Well, yes. You know, so my wife and I actually started on our own private kind of donation as in there, and so we contacted somebody at the Yavapai Regional Medical Center to award them some certificates on our own. And somewhere along in that process, we realized that, hey, you know, this could be a lot bigger project, and so we started thinking about how we could do this as a project-oriented effort. So right now, what we're doing is in conjunction with the Prescott Chamber of Commerce, we have a pilot program. So this is something that, if it's successful, the Chamber of Commerce may choose to carry forward, which is very much what I would like to see, because I'd like to see this on a much larger scale. But the pilot program itself, what I decided to do was stay close to home, I guess. I live on the west side of Prescott, kind of up in the hills, up on the wildland urban interface, if you will. And so my neighborhood is completely dependent on the Central Yavapai Fire Station 51 to come out and save us if there's a fire or if there's any other kind of emergency. So the project was really kind of targeted initially towards, our nextdoor.com group, which is where most of this funding comes from. And the idea is that we're going to reward them by getting them City of Prescott gift certificates, which are very, very flexible in that they can go to any participating business and support them with these gift certificates. And so once we meet our goal, what we intend to do is follow up with a little presentation ceremony. And something else my wife and I kind of discovered along the way is there's kind of an opportunity here to enhance the donor experience a little bit. In other words, try and keep these people a little bit more involved rather than just doing a website donation, which you typically do. What we want to do is provide feedback from our donors to our donors to say, hey, there's going to be a presentation here, and of course there are going to be COVID constraints and whatever, but what we like to do, or what we did with YRMC, is do kind of a face-to-face with somebody that represents that group. And it's a much different experience to have somebody come out directly and say, here's the supervisor of environmental services saying, thank you on behalf of our group, we really appreciate it. And so part of the concept is to keep the projects small, keep them very targeted. It makes the fundraising a little bit simpler, but then eventually what I like to do is have other people come up and identify projects and just sort of be the person behind a project for something that suits your needs, something close to home, something that you really resonate with. And I would like to build up a little library of these and then have eventually something on the Chamber of Commerce website where you can see what projects are out there and anybody can donate to any project. And we can just, enrich our sense of community by focused, targeted small projects.
I think you and I were talking a little bit off air about projects like this. Obviously, they're very important, and I feel like this is a great way for everybody to rally around together. And with donations, you can send money to the Red Cross, you can send money to any organization really, but you don't know where that money is going to go. I can give you $100 and go, yeah, it's going to go towards this. Well, I don't really know if that $100 is going towards that, but with your program, with the project, where that's going. Hey, like you mentioned, Central Yavapai, you rewarded them already, or YRMC, excuse me, more specifically. They know that it's going there, and what you're saying is you can get an opportunity to be at the ceremony where they give them a reward, and you feel that satisfaction knowing, oh, great, I know where my money went to. I know that it was going directly to help these people. I was with them. I got to meet them. I know who has it. I think that's very important, especially with something like this where it's new. You don't really know where the money's going, but if you get to go actually see where it's going, it could incentivize people to donate more. So again, Prescott.org, go check out that website. It's the Prescott Chamber of Commerce website. If you scroll down just a little bit, you will find that donation link. Go ahead and donate. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about expanding possibly the project, the collaboration with the Prescott Chamber of Commerce and our local businesses and frontline workers. Countywide, we'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.
Two things we can count on every year:
a new set of tax rules and great weather here in northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
The EPA says C&B Construction ranks in the top 1% nationally. C&B Construction invites you to see what energy efficiency and indoor air quality can be. We have won another Department of Energy Innovation Award, and C&B Construction is the only contractor in the country to win 6 consecutive EPA Indoor Air Plus awards. Experience our zero-energy, move-in ready homes at Crossroads at Mingus.
C&B Construction, locally respected, nationally recognized. Find out more at candbhomes.com.
Been hearing about the crazy benefits of CBD? Find out how CBD can help you at Sedona's #1 resource, CBD Sedona. Come in for a free consultation and let our trained medical staff help you find the perfect product for you. Pain-relieving salves, full-spectrum oils, CBD skincare, bath bombs, and even CBD for your pets. Come on by CBD Sedona today.
Terrifying jobs, high-flying linemen, take 3.
Josh, this is an absolutely terrifying job. Why do you do it?
It's a very demanding job, but very rewarding and exciting.
How much energy are you actually working with up there?
500,000 volts of electricity.
It's definitely not my line of work. Does anything shock you?
Yeah, distracted drivers terrify me.
Hello and welcome back to Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catafamo. We are joined by Prescott resident and head of this new project to support local businesses and reward frontline workers. That is Glenn Haselfeld, who is to my right. Glenn, we spoke a little bit about your past coming up here to Yavapai County, how you got the project started, but you are paired up with the Prescott Chamber of Commerce. As we know, Prescott.org, if you want to go donate right now, trying to hit a goal of $1,100 on that donate page on Prescott.org. Again, if you need to call them, 928-445-2000. Glenn, how did you get collaborated with the Prescott Chamber of Commerce?
Well, at first I, for a brief time, explored a different option, which was really kind of do it by myself and do a GoFundMe or whatever. And in that particular scenario, I would go to a particular business first and get the gift certificates and then do it out there. That has a lot of advantages. It's immediate cash flow on the gift certificate, but it has a lot of disadvantages if you are the recipient of that, because I'm picking where the gift certificate is.
Right.
The system that Sherry Heine has set up with the gift certificates through the Chamber of Commerce are redeemable at any participating business. So this gives a lot more flexibility for the people that are receiving the gift certificates. Also, they are a 501c3 foundation charity, so when you make a donation there, it's tax deductible. And I don't know if people know this, but Congress is now carrying forward the above-the-line tax donation for charitable contributions. So I think it's 300 individual, 600 filing joint, but that's an above the line, not part of your standard deduction. So you can also decrease your tax burden by making a contribution through the Prescott Chamber of Commerce. So those were definite advantages. And the third advantage is outreach. They can reach a lot more people than I can. And so I just thought it was a very good match. And the people there have been very helpful and very willing to support me. And assuming that we have the success on our pilot program, I would really like to see it go forward.
Yeah, and this is, again, a project that makes a lot of sense. It's got a lot behind it that's really good. More specifically, I keep mentioning it, but supporting the local businesses and our frontline and essential workers, that's really, to me, the thing that jumps out here is you're really helping out people directly who work in your neighborhood. You're not a big organization, you're not a big company, you're not a conglomerate or whatever. You're not just taking cash and allocating it where you want. This is going directly to local businesses. Are there any plans to expand out of the Prescott area and possibly throughout Yavapai County and maybe even through northern Arizona?
Well, so because I'm working with the Chamber of Commerce right now, that is our focus is the Prescott area because of all the advantages that I told you. But there's no reason why this concept can't be expanded out further. Again, anybody, you don't necessarily have to come through us or the Chamber of Commerce, but a GoFundMe project might have a little bit higher fees than what you can get through the Chamber of Commerce. But somebody can certainly set up their own GoFundMe type project with targeted gift certificates from a particular business and focus that on any kind of recipient that is meaningful to them. So yes, it's a concept that can be out further, but for the current time, we're just focusing on Prescott.
And just to make it very clear, you don't have to be a Prescott resident to donate. If you genuinely want to donate to this fund, again, Prescott.org, go ahead and drop the $25 there, and you can really be helping out an essential worker or a business in the Prescott area, but you do not have to be a Prescott resident to donate. As Glenn mentioned, it is tax deductible, and you're helping out a really good cause. Again, Prescott.org. Scroll down the page, right past, they've got this promo for a Christmas tree. Just keep scrolling past that, and you will find the donate on the front page of the Prescott Chamber of Commerce website. Again, 928-445-2000 is their website. Have you guys been able to hand out any rewards outside of YRMC? Anybody else got any?
No, this is the pilot.
Okay.
So this is the one that we're hoping will close quickly and send a message to the Chamber of Commerce that it's a good idea and worth carrying forward. And of course, if anybody really feels this is a good idea, they can contact Sherry Heine directly. She's the president CEO of the Chamber of Commerce. It's really easy to do. You just go to the Prescott.org website. There's some pull-down menus at the top. So you go to the chamber, I think it is, and if you select our team, you can get Sherry's email and phone number.
Yeah, great. So, I mean, great. Hopefully this will expand out to a couple of our other Chamber of Commerce here in Yavapai County, where they'll see this project if it's successful. Again, you're trying to hit that goal of $1,100 for that pilot project, but it'd be great to see it here in Cottonwood or in Sedona, to see it up on their website. It'd be great to see some more of these projects pop up and reward some of these local businesses and first responders. But how has the reception been with the chamber, the idea behind it, some of the local businesses that you've gone to? What's been sort of the reception from them?
Well, actually, I'm glad you asked that question, because I want to kind of go back to the initial one that my wife and I did on our own. We chose to get our gift certificates from a restaurant in Prescott called El Gato Azul. And part of the reason we did that is because we love the restaurant, but also because the owner, Barry Barbie, has a long history of philanthropy. And I wanted to kind of thank Barry, because as we went through this process, he actually donated an extra $10 face value onto each gift certificate that we awarded. So anyway, that was a very good experience there.
Yeah, that's really cool. Just for you, getting a chance to go to YRMC, you can speak from experience going to those sort of reward events, handing somebody that certificate. You see it right there up on your screen. Glenn and his wife, they're over at YRMC rewarding them with us. $25 is nice. It's not too much, not too little. Can do a lot. How did it feel to you, just personally, to just be able to go here? It's not much, but I got something for you. just a small thank you for the million things you do for us.
Well, yes, it's a very gratifying experience, right? Because it is kind of a modest donation, but you're sending a message, and you're sending a message to a very targeted group who really appreciates it. That's a good experience, and if it's going to scale up, you can make a difference both in terms of all the people that you reach with the gift certificates, as well as the businesses that you're supporting. So it's it just seemed like a really neat idea, and I think it's an idea worth carrying forward and expanding out to the entire county.
So when you hit that 1,100, what happens after?
So at that point, I already had coordinated with by the way, I think I mentioned Fire Stations 51.
Yes.
There are also two other fire stations involved. The City of Prescott, Stations 71 and 72, also service the west and south ends of town. I coordinated with them, and what we'll do now, once we reach our goal, is do the next step, which is set up the presentation. Again, because this is an online donation, our webmaster's got all the email addresses of everybody that donated, so we'll send out a message. People, and of course there may be constraints on how many people can be there or how far away or what have you, right. Just due to the COVID. But they have a chance to be involved, and certainly they could at least get the picture of the certificate and the people that were there, if that's what they choose to do. But if they want to come down and just see people receiving, the benefits of your generosity, they have the opportunity to do that.
We'll keep talking about this great project to support local businesses and frontline and essential workers on the other side of this break. We'll keep speaking with Glenn Haselfeld, the brains behind the operation, when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Countywide, we'll be right back.
Who doesn't dream of home improvements? Perhaps your kitchen, the real living room. Maybe the bathroom, where you bookend your day. Langstrand Contracting is your one-stop shop from tear down to finishing touches. With 35 years of experience, Chris and his team will work with you to match your family's style and budget. Call Langstrand Contracting today for guidance in bringing your vision to life.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family-friendly, open 11:30 to 9, late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles.
Welcome back to Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catafamo. We are talking about a new pilot project that is looking to support local businesses and reward frontline and essential workers out of the Prescott area. The man who is sitting to my right, actually, I'm joined by Mr. Glenn Haselfeld, who is, like I mentioned at the end of the second segment, the brains behind the operation. Glenn, you wanted to get this out. How can someone start a new project?
Well, yes, that's really kind of the whole concept here, and of course, it is pending whether or not the Chamber of Commerce chooses to go forward with the program. But the idea is you take a small social group, anything that's meaningful to you. It could be a church group, a choir group, bridge club, whatever, and identify people that you think are important to you, that are servicing you in your neighborhood, and try and identify a project. Now, I've kind of volunteered my services with the Chamber of Commerce to act as a facilitator in that behalf, and so assuming we go forward with that, I could be there to kind of link up different ideas, whatever the scope is, how much you think you can donate or want to donate or whatever handle. And by the way, if you do promote a project, you're not financially liable to meet the target goal. Anybody can contribute to any project at any time, which will help with the fundraising. But I can help facilitate with the webmaster to get the funding site set up and set up the logistics of how we have the presentation done and the feedback to all of the donors and the opportunity for them to come in and participate in the process.
Glenn, we're out of time. Is there anything else before we go? Again, just want to make this very clear. Prescott.org is the website to go and donate. Like I said, go right to the front page. You can scroll down. You'll see 3 images of a couple of first responders. We've got it up on the screen. I know that we're also simulcast on radio as well, so it's kind of hard for me to explain it. But Prescott.org, if you scroll down on their front page, you will find that donation link, and you can put in some money towards this fund. The pilot project is looking to raise $1,100. If you need to call them, 928-445-2000. You can talk to the Prescott Chamber of Commerce directly and see how you can get involved with this great project that is currently restricted to the Prescott area for now, but we're looking to expand it out to the rest of the county and hopefully the rest of the state as well. That would be great to see every Chamber of Commerce have some sort of fund like this to reward frontline workers and essential businesses. Glenn, we've got a little under a minute. Is there anything else you want to get out about this program?
Yeah, I think I would just like to remind folks that there's a lot of people that need things, not necessarily this program, but I think there's probably quite a few people like me who have stable incomes, kind of are okay with it, and don't really have any issues, and we're getting stimulus checks. I would ask people to just consider, when you get that stimulus check, how you might use that to pay back into the neighborhood. Find some people that are in need, or it could be anything. It could be the local food bank, whatever. But please take the opportunity to try and give back to your own neighborhood and make it a better place to live.
Glenn Haselfeld, thank you very much for coming on the show, sir. And again, Prescott.org, if you want to go ahead and donate, just scroll down on that front page. I'm your host, Philip Catafamo. That was today's episode of Countywide. We'll talk to you again next time.